Listen, children, and listen well, for I have a tale that I would tell. Tale of the worlds and of a tree that holds the 9 worlds, even you and me. In its branches each world this tree does hold, this special tree, one most ancient and old. So listen now, and listen well. When Odin and his brothers killed the giant Ymir and created more worlds, he didn't just create the world we live on, called Midgard. He created 7 of them, forming a giant tree called Yggdrasil, which holds these worlds in its branches and roots with the 2 worlds which were there before he created them. Each world is home to a different sort of being, like the gods and the giants and us. Now, the gods can go between realms, so here's an idea. Why don't we ask them to help us, and see if they'll let us take a trip to the 9 worlds and explore?
Do you really want to see the 9 worlds?
Wow! Do you know who that is? That's someone we should all know very, very well indeed. Just listen to your heart. You'll know who it is. To answer your question, sir, we'd be honored.
Well, what is wisdom if not shared after all? Let's go. First is Niflheim, the ice world.
Niflheim is a frozen world. Here, the air is filled with cold mists and even colder fog, the land itself covered deep in ice. If you look around, you'll see all the colors that ice can be when old and deep. It is every shade of blue, green, gray, and white imaginable. Niflheim and Muspelheim were the first worlds, and were there before Odin created the others.
Between the 2 worlds stretched the Gnunga Gap, the void. In Niflheim is the well from which all the rivers flow, called Hvergelme. And it is so cold the river has frozen into waves. This water eventually reaches towards the Gnunga Gap and the fire world, Muspelheim, where it melts. As the world tree Yggdrasil grew, it stretched its roots down into this river for its water.
In Niflheim, the huge frost giants roam, huge beings of ice and snow whose heads touch the sky. Let's go before they find us.
Muspelheim, the fire giants. Another of the original worlds, Muspelheim is a world of all of fire and of lava. Here the air is filled with ash and soot. Be careful not to breathe any in.
It's very, very hot here, as you can imagine. It feels like the sun itself. You wouldn't think anything could live in such heat. But here, giants dwell too. Massive forms of lava and fire walk over the burning rock of the world.
One of them, called Surtr, will one day attack and destroy Osgard.
Quick, let's get to safety.
Osgard, home of the gods.
Safe, at least for now. Here in Asgard, we walk with the gods themselves. Here Odin, Allfather, himself dwells with his wife Frigga. Just past that wall and those gates there, you'll see their hall, Valhalla. When a warrior dies who has fought to his last breath, exhausting all his strength and fighting harder than anyone could imagine, he is either chosen to go here to Valhalla with Odin or dwell with Freya in her hall, Folkvanger.
Either is an incredible mark of honor. It is not easy to be chosen to live here among the gods. Now, you have a glimpse of something reserved for the gods and a chosen rare few, so onward you must move.
Midgard, our home. Midgard was created by Odin and his brothers, Vili and Ve, from the body of a giant named Ymir, and then they created us. They created us from an ash tree and an elm tree they found. Between our world and Asgard stretches the Rainbow Bridge, the Bifrost.
All around Midgard is a huge, impassable space. In this space dwells Jormungandr, the Midgard serpent, a child of the god Loki and the giantess Angerboda.
Their serpent child grew huge. So huge he terrified the Aesir, who then cast him into the space surrounding Midgard.
But he grew so huge he ringed the whole world, biting his own tail. But you know Midgard, don't you? Let's move on.
Jotunheim, home of the giants. Giants are called Jotun by the Norse. The giants here are neither frost nor fire giants like in Niflheim or Muspelheim, but a power unto themselves.
Here the giants can be peaceful and friends of the gods, or they can be their enemies. It depends on the giant.
The gods have even had children with the Jotun, and from Jotunheim came the god Loki, who became the sworn brother of Odin himself and accepted by the Aesir.
Jotunheim is a land of massive mountains and huge rivers. Here, as we follow the route of Yggdrasil down past Midgard, through the void, in Jotunheim we'll find the god Mimir and the well of wisdom he looks over.
A well whose waters of knowledge even Odin desires. But that's a story for another day. Let's move on. Ha! Vanaheim, home of the Vanir.
This is the home of the Vanir tribe of gods. This is a very old, old tribe of gods, who are masters of sorcery and magic.
Nobody knows exactly where Vanaheim is or how it looks. The Vanir hide it to protect it, so we're very, very lucky to see the sight indeed.
Freya must have had a good word for us today.
Here we see rolling fields and forests and rivers teeming with life. Beautiful purple mountains rise in the distance. The air is filled with the scent of rich, warm earth. Here the world is ripe and gold and bountiful. Their old magic keeps this land happy and healthy and beautiful. But this land is protected. Let's move on.
Ulfheim, home of the elves. Here is perhaps the most beautiful world of them all, and here dwell the light elves, the Ulfar. Beautiful creatures, their magics are of nature. They can help us or they can trouble us.
Here the world is filled with light and music and beauty. Gentle breezes stir the golden leaves on the trees. The air filled with the scent of the woods. This place is too perfect for us. We don't belong here. Let's move on. Svartalfheim, home of the dwarves. This is a world of caves and rocks. The people here, Svartalfr, or as we know them, dwarves, they dwell in caves and the underground.
Its king is Hreidmar. Svartalfheim means dark fields, and the dwarves are master craftsmen. They make such nice things that clever Loki himself sought their aid for special gifts.
They made many wondrous gifts indeed, including Odin's spear, Thor's hammer, and his wife Sif's beautiful hair. But that too is a tale for another time. Let's move on.
Helheim, home of the dead. You're not dead yet, so let's not stay here long, shall we?
Agreed. We're living beings, and we will be truly lucky to come back to the land of the dead. Here, the world itself changes. Sometimes it is peaceful and quiet, a place of rest and calm and healing.
Sometimes it is punishment, those who have done bad things in their life. Sometimes, however, it is a cold place of shifting mists, a place of in-between, of waiting.
Hela, a daughter of Loki, is queen of this realm, by edict of Odin Allfather himself. One side of her body is black and dead, terrible and cold, but on her other side she is a beautiful, kind, and warm woman.
Which side you see is up to you.
Most people who die end up here in Hela's realm, but if you died honorably and well, here is a place of rest and healing.
If you were a bad person, though, there is a special corner reserved for you, and it is not nice at all.
Let's ask Lady Hela nicely if she'll let us go back to our own world.
Well now, what is this we see? This isn't Midgard. Instead, it seems Hela has shown us something else.
Instead of Midgard, we see the whole world tree, Yggdrasil itself, all the worlds among its branches and its roots. But why didn't she take us home?
Well, she's a daughter of Loki after all, and there must be more that we can learn. Ah, indeed. Look there on the trunk. Do you see that? A squirrel. That's Ratatoskr, and he carries messages between the roots of Yggdrasil and the top of the tree, where lives an enormous eagle, and the hawk, Vefalnir. And look, there's a deer called Dain, eating leaves. But look down. Look at that. See the dragon? Nidhogger. He grows among Yggdrasil's roots and eats them. As everything has a beginning, so must things end, and that's Nidhogger's job. But hold on just a moment. I believe it's time you went home. Ah, Hela, is there anything else?
Whew. Thank you, Hela, and thanks be to all the gods, and to thank you, especially Allfather. Here we are, back safe in Midgard.
Here you are, back safe in Midgard. I hope you learned something today.
I know I did. But everyone, here for now our journey ends. I do hope you have had fun. Thanks for coming along. By the way, for the parents, if you really liked this, please consider joining our Patreon hall. Don't worry, it's online here in Midgard. The link is in the description. See you there!